And I always find it hilarious that people don't actually believe that certain altcoins can reach multiple trillion-dollar market caps. They can. They're global software. This is not a company. You cannot compare a crypto project to a company. At 18 Robinson Road over in Singapore, and we have Ripple Labs right here, 18 Robinson, Singapore. I wonder if they're working together on any solutions. What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another cryptocurrency update. So looking at the Bitcoin price chart, this is the Bitcoin market capitalization. Now, as we know, Bitcoin came out in 2009, the original Genesis block, starting at $0 and climbing and surpassing a $1 trillion market cap in roughly 10 years. So it took 10 years to go from 0 to 1 trillion. And I wanted to share that because I have a funny story. So I met a Bitcoin maximalist who does not believe any other altcoin ever will reach a $1 trillion market cap, not even Ethereum, which I thought was insane. And I love Bitcoin, but let's be clear, there will be other improved projects like global software that is distributed, immutable, certain benefits of Bitcoin. Some will be more so centralized or private, permission, things of that nature, but they will service specific use cases. And there are trillions of dollars in this market. So friendly reminder, Bitcoin took over 10 years, over a decade to reach a $1 trillion market cap. Now, thanks to Bitcoin for paving the way and giving birth to this crypto asset class, then giving birth to Ethereum as well. And without Ethereum, we really would not have DeFi in terms of what we know and love today. So each thing is like a necessary stepping stone in evolution. And if you're a Bitcoin maximalist, that is completely fine. I want to be clear. I am not bashing Bitcoin. What I'm saying is, I don't think we should just stop at Bitcoin. Just because there's been one dominant network that has done exceedingly well and gave birth to an entire asset class, that does not mean we just stop there and don't want to improve upon it. Bitcoin is a store of value, but it cannot scale for payments. Even if you use the Lightning Network, that is BS because that can only, at full capacity, service maybe a small or medium-sized city. We're talking the globe. So yes, I am looking at a variety of altcoins. I'm looking at ISO tokens, different projects that are working with regulators, central banks, building the bridges between enterprise use cases or payments, Oracle solutions, API solutions, metaverse and DeFi plays, you name it. And the monetary printing has not stopped. Inflation is well over 8%. And if you think a $1 to $2 trillion market cap is really that outlandish for some assets, I have news for you. This market is going to swallow all others. This will be the bedrock for a variety of other asset classes. So this is a blog post I made a while back. The global equities market, 117 trillion. The global real estate market, including commercial and residential, over 300 trillion. The global derivatives market, over 600 trillion to over 1.2 quadrillion. And even the DTCC that everybody should be familiar with. This was the Fed before the Federal Reserve existed. They processed over $2.15 quadrillion in securities in 2019, so years ago, and they are looking at distributed ledger technology to settle and clear these payments. And no, I'm not guaranteeing that the DTCC is going to just use XRP or just use XLM. What I'm saying is there's going to be a variety of use cases in specific niche or niche markets for asset tracking, supply chain management, for cross-border payments, maybe the front end for retailers, maybe on the back end for foreign exchange settlements, maybe XTC in the world of trade finance. What I'm saying is that all of these organizations are not just going to use one single crypto asset. So let's compare this to a company, and a company is using multiple services. They're not just using one service because that will not fit all of their needs. So let's use the company Amazon. And Amazon, for example, cannot just use one service. They're not just using Office 360 by Microsoft for all their employees and it serves all their needs. Microsoft 360 may be necessary for those that are in customer support in Amazon's department, but Amazon also has drivers out there. How do they service them? Then they ask maybe Verizon or AT&T to have some type of IoT tracking device for their van. And that's just two quick examples. They need different services for different use cases. So when you look at a company, even IBM working with Casper and building things out, and I think it's huge for the future since they're speaking at Davos. We also know that IBM had other ties to Stellar. It doesn't mean they're just going to choose one single network. These organizations are not married to any project. It is about future-proofing and being prepared for whatever may come. And remember, the former CEO of this organization, Don Donahue, was named as a Ripple advisor years ago, and then he became chairman of RippleNet, aka Ripple's Global Payment Steering Group. Now, I don't see his name listed much anywhere else. These were older articles, but it does make you wonder. And after he joined as chairman to Ripple's Global Payment Steering Group with Bank of America, Santander, a variety of banks, then we saw that distributed ledger technology was added to this group's roadmap. We're talking, 2015, 2016. So it makes you wonder. And I also want to emphasize, no, I'm not saying every single altcoin will survive, but the ones that do, or even those that remain in the top 50, get ready for exponential growth in the future. And if you're freaking out right now with the market, with life, with inflation, with food shortages, I completely get it. But what personally helps me is looking at the past historical data of a variety of price charts. If you're looking at an asset that's maybe only 1 year old, I would look at that chart and maybe zoom out and look at other assets that have been around for 3 to 5 years. Try to get some perspective. Look at these crashing structures. How do we recover after an 86% drop? In this case, this is a super slow recovery, but again, it still led to over a 12,000% climb. Here, we had an 84% drop. Then we had a little relief rally, and I'm shocked that we have yet to have anything like that. 300, 400%. And then boom, another big drop at like 70%. And what was followed by that? Almost a double top, a 1,600% move. Now since then, it seems we've dropped about 63, 64%. So this drop has not been as bad as these previous levels, but in terms of the altcoin market getting liquidated, there was hundreds of billions of dollars being liquidated over the past 6 months. So yes, I believe, at least in terms of monetary liquidations, this has been significantly crazier than March 2020, when the crypto market was significantly lower. I mean, even in the past, we were at a $100 billion market cap. We can see the altcoin market has been absolutely decimated. The market cap of altcoins, just excluding Bitcoin, so this is every altcoin, Ethereum, XRP, etc., they are down roughly 68%, and many alts are actually down 90% from their 2021 all-time high. So I'm looking at a variety of charts, I'm looking at the stock market, I'm looking at the past, I'm talking decades ago, and I'm looking at these potentially recovery scenarios. Are we going lower? Do we trend sideways for a few months? Are we going to get a big V-shaped recovery, or it's going to be a slow and steady creak? Now we're looking at the total cryptocurrency market cap excluding Bitcoin. We can see that we had a top or all-time high price of about 1.7 trillion, and that was set back in November. And I look at a variety of Wyckoff accumulation schematics. I'm looking at distribution. I also saw a gentleman share a Casper chart on the TradingView ideas with Casper, and he actually just said, hey, saw Kevin Cage, mention this, and he added onto it, and I really like that look too. So even here, the March 2020 crash, that served as the spring, and then it was game time. We got the signs of strength and we started moving after a multi-year bear market. And you guys know I keep an open mind to gap theory, meaning there's gaps in liquidity that have yet to close. And my buddy Mr. Level Up has helped me a bunch, even back in 2020, like starting May 2020 all the way up until like December. We were doing a little screen share session on our computers, just talking and sharing charts with each other. And he found the gap at 1776 for XRP. So I actually made a bet with a buddy that the gap for XRP would close. And I made the bet like over here. So XRP was like in the mid 20s, maybe 30 cents. And I bet something small like 100 XRP that this gap would close at 1776, meaning that the price when it was around here at like 20, 30 cents had to come down and hit 17 cents. And then the price spiked and I was like, oh, I think I'm going to lose the bet. And then, of course, the SEC news came in right on the 21st of the winter solstice, and boom, we closed that gap to perfection. Now, some people think gap theory is all BS, but it is very fascinating because you can see time and time again on certain crypto charts where there is gaps in liquidity, they close. So I can't dismiss it. I know so many people roll their eyes at gap theory thinking it's all BS, but I've seen it work out so many times on the Bitcoin futures. I've seen it work out on GameStop, like on actual stocks. So I keep an open mind. Now, with that being said, I mean, we do have gaps in liquidity on the total altcoin market, and I don't think this ever happens, frankly. We can see 22.9 billion. So if gap theory is correct, that means the price has to crash all the way down here to close it, and I don't actually see that happening. Now, this is an example of a gap that was closed instantly. It's a flash wick. So this is Ontology or ONT versus the US dollar on Binance. And yes, we had some lower gaps here. And what happened? When Ontology crashed, we're looking on like the 5 or 30 minute chart. It went all the way to zero in an instant. So this closed the gap instantly and then came right back up. So I mean, we're talking in a matter of seconds. And this is what I could see for some of those really low gaps. ONT Ontology basically went to zero for a few split seconds. That's how I look at some of these things that don't really make sense. We even have the silver price chart. XAG is the ticker. We have a gap down here at like $5. Now, do I see that happening? I mean, anything's possible and I'll keep my mind open to it, but I personally don't see it being likely. So I wanted to show you guys a few looks there, and remember, we're all just trying to make sense of this crazy market. Next up, it's always funny seeing these articles now. Former Ripple developer Matt Hamilton thinks XRP will mark $100 at some point. They're kind of twisting his words here as always, but he's just saying that anything is possible. And I always find it hilarious that people don't actually believe that certain altcoins can reach multiple trillion-dollar market caps. They can. They're global software. This is not a company. You cannot compare a crypto project to a company. And I know I compared them earlier with that analogy, but that was to demonstrate that companies need a wide variety of services. That even if they use one project for interoperability or an Oracle solution, they need a payment solution for settlement. But I respect Matt Hamilton like crazy. I recommend going and watching the YouTube channel, even the Ripple X YouTube channel, and listen to him discuss XRP, listen to him discuss RippleNet, and I think you'll see how confident they are for the future. Even Crypto Eddie highlighting, this is Matt Hamilton as well, Hammertoe on Twitter, executed a hook on the XRP ledger. And she goes on to say, hooks add smart contract functionality with custom code to influence the behavior and flow of transactions. These small, efficient pieces of code allow business logic to be executed before and or after transactions. Powerful stuff. Next up by Watcher Guru. According to a report by Deloitte, one of the big four, 85% of merchants say cryptocurrency payments will be a norm by 2026. Also saw my buddy Jamie XRP highlighting the Polkadot ecosystem. And please remember that your altcoin is not the only one that's down right now. We can see we got Moon River down 94%, Kilt 93%, Kusama 91%, Remark 94%, Ocean 86%, and even Energy Web Token 87%. Also, a must follow in the XRP community is Ian right here. So, wowzer, what's quite interesting is Singapore. It's been active since 2016 with R3. People don't actually think that R3 and Ripple have any type of collaboration, which I just don't understand, because even Corda's solution named XRP to be one of the first settlement mechanisms, and they have neighboring offices. Do you guys remember when everybody laughed at us for saying that Bank of America is a Ripple partner because Bank of America was on the founding team of Ripple's Global Payment Steering Group with the former CEO of the DTCC, and people thought we were speculating. But Bank of America and Ripple have neighboring offices in San Francisco. So look what Ian shares. We have R3 at 18 Robinson Road over in Singapore, and we have Ripple Labs right here, 18 Robinson, Singapore. I wonder if they're working together on any solutions. As Ian says, oh, they look like they share the same office. Nah, probably nothing. And Ian, again, let me retweet this really quick. So we have the IMF release some more data on FinTech. Ripple and Stellar are pretty much the only DLT companies in there. And the real investors in this crypto space, despite the market taking an absolute beating, know that what the IMF says has importance. You can see Ripple mentioned right there. And you can see central bank digital currency initiatives that he shares at their developed stages. You can see wholesale, retail use cases, and of course, Ripple XRP Ledger right there. We have R3 Corda, we have Quorum, we have Six, Hyperledger, and guess who's connecting to Hyperledger? Casper. I also shared this the other day. I went jet skiing for my buddy's birthday out here in Puerto Rico, and look at these crypto stickers. These aren't mine. If I get a jet ski, I'll be slapping an XRP sticker on. We also see another stablecoin is launching on the XRP Ledger. This just came out. Novati Group, an Australian fintech that we have seen list XRP and RippleNet in a variety of patents before, announced the launch of a new stablecoin on the XRP Ledger. This is an Australian dollar-backed stablecoin called AUDC. So why are we seeing a variety of nations, South Africa, Australia, building stablecoins on the XRP Ledger? Because the XRP Ledger is one of the only crypto projects out there that has been tried and true for over 10 years. I don't care if your project just came out, 2 years ago. It can be better, but it has to prove itself year over year. Central banks are only adopting something that has a 0% error rate. And they chose the XRP Ledger because it's fast and extremely low cost. They also have that partnership with Ripple, and Ripple will be providing all the technical support that is needed to fully integrate the AUDC with the XRPL. And every AUDC token on the XRP Ledger will be backed with one real Australian dollar. They're not pulling anything shady with their reserve amounts like maybe Tether is. And this will ensure that the peg stays the same. And this AUDC will be able to be used in all of Novati's existing financial products, which further promotes the use of stablecoins and expands the use cases that the Ripple network covers. And RippleNet is a global network that does not just service the top 3 to 5 monopoly banks, they give opportunity to hundreds, well over 300 partners. And this announcement to continue using RippleNet and XRP for its operations also come with multiple other achievements that the company has achieved, such as reaching a record $10.4 million in sales revenue. Now, this is one Australian fintech. Other fintechs are going to be paying attention to this. Wow, over $10 million in sales revenue. And more companies will want to join RippleNet and use the benefits of XRP and RippleNet, whether it's messaging or even settlement of value in real time. And also a friendly reminder for you, root for your friends to succeed, support their businesses. I'm rooting for all of my friends to succeed. Would you rather have somebody you know succeed or complete strangers? Your friend's success is only going to help you and your other friends as well and bring you up. Forget some of the petty competition and keeping up with the Joneses. And that's a massive reason why you guys see me on Twitter supporting and retweeting anything I find interesting from other content creators. Yeah, I know I share some stupid memes and I act like a kid sometimes, but I support everybody on Twitter. As long as you're not hurting other people, as long as you're not a jerk to others, you treat others with respect even when they don't agree with you. You don't have to agree with me for me to like you. But if you're super tribalistic or you're laughing at other people's downfalls and misfortune, I want nothing to do with you. So anyways, just a little rant because I know it's crazy out there right now. And I'm far from perfect and I have my own individual battles that I face every single day. But if I can spread a little good out there to somebody out there in today's crazy world, it's all worth it. I know a lot of people roll their eyes at, motivational tweets, especially when you're actually going through hell and difficult times. I've been there too. But knowing that it resonates with some people and actually helps them, it makes it all worth it. Again, huge thank you to everybody that likes and subscribes. As always, all cryptocurrency resources and exchanges are linked right here in my link tree on Twitter. I'll be looking at the video comments, so leave me your thoughts and I will catch you in the next one.